Ooh, exciting. Cool, it is working. I told you I was really good at this. Can we do a bit of a lag test? Can you hear me? That's a good question. Okay, cool. So, if you haven't already worked out what's going on, which, in fairness, I haven't worked out what's going on, clearly. So I am going to paint that guy. Let's jump that there. And we're going to get rid of the glass. Oh, is he upside down? Is he upside down? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can... Okay. Okay, right. Hold on. Right, sorry. I just couldn't face it. My OCD will not let that get away. It has to at least be straight. Oh, this is hilarious. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What? Well, I have no idea. Right, let's just paint something, see what happens. That was the point of this. We're just going to paint something. Right, let's get some violet and some red oxide, and we're going to do some skin. When I went to SMC last year, I discovered that red oxide is the best base for skin. So, then I'm just going to chuck in the plan is that I'm going to try and work on his face. I sort of save the face to last because it's the most fun. should really buy a pre-mixed skin tone, but I don't know. I end up never bothering, and then I tell myself it's fun to mix up skin paint, but actually sometimes it's just nice to get started, isn't it? My big issue is being able to see these days. CMYK. Yeah, it's fair enough though. It's fun doing stuff like that. It's I'm not. I'm trying to make my life. I don't know the point of this one. To be honest, I've been feeling super stressed recently, so I'm just trying to make life easy for myself. But I also don't want to, I don't know, just phone it in. So it's a balancing act, isn't it? Sorry, Ollie, I'm not being rude by not replying on the chat. I'm just finally picked up a paintbrush after like 2 decades of messing around with tech. I know. Or as they say, trust the process. So we are trusting the process. I am literally just trying to make it look better. It looks too desaturated, which makes him look really dark and like, I don't know, like he's out to kill your sister or something. And that is not the vibe I wanted. I wanted a good guy. I like painting good guys. Also, not that she's going to hear this, but I just want to say a huge thank you to my wife for letting me do this, because she's currently, I don't know if you might be able to hear the odd thump and bump. It's because she's currently wrangling my children, who are having a great time because they've suddenly filled with energy before bedtime, which is always what happens, frankly. Chris, how is your story coming on? I know you struggled with that last time. Is it any better this time, or is it just as bad? not sure this looks any better at all. But I guess it is what it is. Ah, fair enough. When in doubt, cheat. It's always a good shout. I think the last bit mix was too cold, so I made it a bit warmer, and we'll just, I don't know, pretend like I know what I'm doing. It's always a good bet. I've started following this TikTok artist who, or I don't know, YouTube Shorts or whatever, and he starts all his paintings by basing it in Azo gold. I think he's called Jim Musil or something like that. So that's how I started this thing, just literally just basing everything in Golden's Azo gold. And it's really cool because it's given everything this like cool little warm tone. Which has really tied everything together really nicely. Oops. Yeah, I'm always winging it with NM. Yeah. If anyone works out a way that actually works with NM, then please tell me, because it makes sense until I try and do it, usually. Skin I really like, and yet I only get skin right about 50% of the time. Maybe not even 50% if I'm honest. Starting to get a little bit nervous about Marco's workshop now as well. Not because I won't be able to do it, because I've done a few of them now, but it's just it's getting towards that time where I start having to think about it, and then actually I can't believe it's only a month away. It feels like only 5 minutes. It should have been, you know. I can't believe it's this time anyway, is basically what I'm saying. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? I always think to myself, why don't you do live streams more often? And then like stuff like that tech happens. I'm like, oh, that's why I don't do live streams more often. Come on, Joe, put your finger out. Honestly. You Americans and your massive fridges. This is very confusing. Yeah, I'm hoping it will be great. I really hope it will be great. I think it will. I think it will. Paint this stupid purple line on his face and it won't cover up. How very annoying. I also really need to get the magnifying goggles out, but if I do that I can't get close enough. So I end up with just looking at the back of my head. These telescopic magnifying goggles. I'm sure you've got a perfectly normal size fridge. I was just being silly because the chat earlier. Looks a bit like Donald Trump at the moment, doesn't he? It's a bit orange. As I discovered with the dwarf I painted the other day, my sketches always look really good until I zoom in and realise I'm really untidy, and then and it turns out that I just can't see properly. So I just need to get on with a magnifying glass, and then I can see the details. It's like who'd have thunk it? Being able to see helps. It's like with all this stuff, once you it looks crap until you do like the last 5%, and then after that it starts to look, well, slightly better. It's only when you start really mapping in the volumes that it starts to really start to come together. That looks better. Yeah, I saw some really cool goggles the other day that, well, I say really cool is absolutely the wrong word. They're not in any way cool. But they are fun. They're literally like a combination of all the best goggles. They're like wrap around big old blocky things, but then they've got flip down individual flip down things with like tiny like zoom in and out microscopes on the front of them. They look mental. Fun though, but mental. And all of a sudden he looks like a sad clown. Cheers, just trying to keep it like super skin tone focused for the palette. It's yeah, my weekend's going really well, thank you. Now, where did I see it? I saw it somewhere on YouTube Shorts, so I've got literally nothing, no frame of reference whatsoever. I like the idea of having a big old, sort of like almost like a jeweler's lamp. That looks like a really cool idea. So that's titanium buff. That's just a normal acrylic white, titanium white. That's satin medium, just in case you were wondering. That's azo gold, magenta, warm yellow, red oxide, and violet. Because no one asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Yay! Feeling quite proud of myself because I managed to get my video edited just about in time, despite not feeling very well. So I'm trying a new sort of stripped back approach to editing because I just really feeling the pain on that one at the moment. So I'm not going to paint the eyes while I'm on here because, well, nobody deserves that. That would be a really boring stream looking at the back of my head. Hey Mikey, how are you? I have tried to inject some life into this already, but it's worked less well than I'd hoped. So I'm just glazing some magenta over his cheeks, and then I'll go back over again. Then I've got to do something with his lips because his lips look wank. Nice, I love a sports massage. I've got literally no reason to have a sports massage at the moment though. I am doing no sports. Although I did take my little girl for a run this morning because she wants to win her school's mini marathon at Sports Day this year. So the only way she's going to do that, I've told her, is if she practices. So we went for a practice run. It was very cute. I think we ran nearly 100 yards, but she did it. So we'll start there, see how we go. Not sure about this. Let's get a different brush. Break out the big guns. I'm the same, mate. I'm exactly the same. I've done almost no fitness for a couple of years now. I used to go to the gym like 4 times a week, and it's to say it's tailed off is an understatement. Hopefully, I'm going to set my squat rack back up in my lounge tomorrow. So. Because that's the latest excuse I'm telling myself. It's too cold, so I'm not going outside. In reality, I'm just too lazy, but I desperately, desperately, desperately need some fitness back in my life. And besides, weightlifting's super fun anyway. Oh, nice. What sort of gym stuff do you do, Joe? Is it just like sort of run-of-the-mill treadmill type stuff, or would you do anything like, you know, you signed up to the local spin class or something like that, or kickboxing or something like that? CrossFit was my thing for years and years and years. Did it for about 8 years. But I don't know, as soon as I stopped going super regularly, I kept injuring myself. And then as soon as I injured myself, it was like I couldn't I didn't put enough effort into recovery, so I didn't been able to pull myself back, which is less than ideal, if I'm honest. Okay, he's looking slightly better. Yeah, I love barbells too. Anything Olympic lifting is great. sort of COVID is what did it for me. I mean, I kept going for a couple of years after COVID, but it was never really the same. I sort of really lost my mojo. Just before going into COVID, I was like at my absolute fittest. I was like, Olympic lifting, over my body weight above my head, and it was great. But then I just sort of dropped away in COVID and then just never quite recovered. That's in my motivation rather than anything else. There was all the injury stuff as well, but sorry, I got a bit of a sore throat today. I'm actually debating going swimming tomorrow with the kids. Not like serious swimming, obviously, with the kids, but it's just like down to Rumsey Rapids or something like that, and just so it's like a swimming pool, but it's got like a tidal. It's like a current. It's like something that goes round, so you go round and round and round in circles, and then you get caught in the like the slipstream or the drift or whatever. A few slides and whatnot. Oh, I'm rubbish at pounds. What's 350 pound in squats in kilos? My squat wasn't that good. I was up at 120 kilos, something like that. Like I said, my best one was I got a 90. No, I could do a 90 kilo squat clean and an 80 kilo squat snatch. See, I use YouTube for my mental state. That's possibly another reason that CrossFit fell by the wayside. I discovered YouTube, and I just love it so much that it just I use that to top up my mental state. But yeah, 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So what's that? Divide 350 by 2.25. So that's massive, to be fair. 150, 175. So what's that, about 160 kilo squat? That's a monster. Absolute beast, Joe. Yeah, 160. There you go. Monster. Yeah, like I said, I never managed to squat more than 120 kilos, but I only weigh, well, when I was doing CrossFit, I only weighed like 70, 75 kilos. I probably weigh 80 now, but I don't weigh that much. Not least because I'm 6'2", so it's fair enough, Mikey. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I remember when I first started CrossFit, I could deadlift like 60 kilos. It was absolutely tragic. Deadlift is one of my better ones, as long as I don't hurt my back, because I'm quite tall and I've got long arms and long levers. So deadlift's not my best one, but it's deadlift's around 150, something like that. But like I say, it was weighed 75 kilos, so that's not too bad. And like I say, that was a couple of years ago. Anyway. I might go and do some tidying up. Well, I say I'll do some tidying up, I'm not sure. Black like the sky. Has your birthday party thing happened yet, Joe? Also, if anyone's genuinely up for doing Salute or something like that, that'd be fun. I'd really like that. It's always more fun to travel with people as well. So, even if we don't hang around all day, it's still fun to hang out. This isn't working very well. Yeah, that was a Fast Show reference. You're talking about the black, like the sky, like the tears of mother as she locked me in the basement and fed me pins. Yes, that's a Fast Show reference. I missed the Fast Show. For non-British people, Google the Fast Show. It's well worth it. Weird, but well worth it. Sort of like the Mighty Boosh, but the 90s version. If that makes any sense at all. I'm doing ChillCon in Derby as well this year. Well, I'm not doing anything with it, I'm just going, but... That was a super fun one last year. Just really chilled out. Really small, really chilled out. Oh, and Beachhead. I'm hopefully going to get to Beachhead this year as well. That's next month or something, isn't it? Yeah, it was Paul Whitehouse and... Oh, what were the other two called? What's the guy from Kevin and Perry called? What was Kevin from Kevin and Perry called? He was in it, wasn't he? Harry Enfield? Is that right? Yeah, I'm hoping to do a bit of a longer one at ChillCon and maybe do, because it's in Derby, I might try and go to Warhammer World or something like that. Because I've never actually been and I'd really like to. Not sure. I'm trying to blackline all around the armour just to put a bit of a definition in, and I'm not sure if it's making it better or worse at the moment, but I think it's slightly better. You're doing Steve's workshops are great, Mikey. I think you'll really like him. I need no Chilcon's Derby this year, mate. Not Sheffield. It was Sheffield last year. Oh, is it both? Someone else said this to me the other day, and I shot them down, saying no, it's definitely not. It's in Derby. There's a one day and one another day. Yeah. Oh, interesting. March 22nd. I thought it was Derby. Maybe it was Derby last year and it's Sheffield this year. Anyway, you've just read your ticket. It's clearly Sheffield. I apologise. It's my fault. It's my fault. I sounded nothing worse than people sounding confident and not knowing what they're talking about. Is it really? I know Crow Miniatures are making the one of the show models this year. So Crow Miniatures do loads and loads. He's really, really BattleTech focused. He runs the BattleTech groups down at my local game shop. He's Cardiff based, but he runs them over there. He's such a lovely guy. Oh, you're going to love doing painting workshops, and you can use that to build up for purchasing more painting workshops from maybe me. That'd be a good idea. Only joking, obviously, or am I? I'm not really, actually. I said I wasn't going to do the eyes, but it just looks so weird. That is a rubbish excuse, Mike. Rubbish excuse, honestly. I forget where you're based, actually. Are you Leeds or Sheffield or something like that? You know, in Element Games, I know that. I can't remember which one though. Yeah, for sure. Devon's a massively long train ride. So Yorkshire, I don't know. You'd have to get to me. You'd have to do London Waterloo, and then in fairness, if you can go, if you can get to London Waterloo, it's about an hour on the train from there. So it's not too bad from there. But still, I don't blame you if you're not coming. I was only joking, mate. So I just put some oxide green on the palette, or some, actually, no, it's the Michael Pazarski, The Fallen Grass. Devon's lovely. Woolacombe and Ilfracombe and all that sort of stuff. I really like Devon. Not as much as I like Cornwall, but I'm gonna work on his cloak for a little bit. Not sure what colour this is supposed to be, but just sort of whacking loads of blobs down and try and make texture somehow. It's funny, on a theoretical side I've got loads better at painting, but on a practical side I just need to put in the hours and grind away at it a little bit. Plymouth Aquarium is supposed to be really good. I've never been. The Deep is one of my favourites. In terms of actually really good aquariums, actually, the Horniman Museum in London is really good. Not well known about, but it's got like an internationally renowned coral breeding program and all sorts of stuff in it. It's really cool. Yeah, the Deep in Hull, yeah. That was really good. I think probably when I saw it, it was relatively new as well, so it was, that always helps. Last time we went to an aquarium was the Blue Planet up by Cheshire Oaks, and it was I got in trouble with my daughter for feeding crickets to the Malawi cichlids, which is apparently naughty. Well, it is quite naughty, but they loved it. Yeah, the Horniman Museum, yeah. I'm not sure if he's still there, but Jamie Craigs used to be the curator of it, and he was a bit of a legend, to be honest with you. Ooh, lush. Yeah, I'd like to go to New Zealand. I'd really like to go to New Zealand. It looks pretty chill. It's just a long old way, isn't it? Understatement of the century, but yeah, it's a long way. How's the painting coming on, Michelle? You still at it, or have you abandoned it? See you later, mate. Thank you for dropping in. This could have been a bad choice. I think NMM always does look bandy though, doesn't it? In fact, I think it's supposed to, and then it's all about the blending at the end. So I always lose faith of it when it starts to look bandy, and then lose all the contrast, and then it ends up just looking like, I don't know, concrete. Try and get his belt looking a little bit more, I don't know, more belty, I don't know. Is that an adjective? Probably not. Looks a bit janky at the moment. It's only because it's just literally just scattered stuff all over it. I'll glaze some brown over the top of it in a second. Let that dry before I glaze over the top of it. I've shown you guys this. These are the they're called mini painting sketchbook. Unfortunately, I primed them in Pro Acryl, which is like my nemesis paint now apparently, and it all cocked up. The Pro Acryl black just did not stick at all and beaded up all over the surface. And so I let it dry and then put some white over the top of it and it all cracked. But Bob Ross style, I'm going to leave it because actually it's kind of cool, particularly this one. So I'm just going to lean into the painting and sort of try and just paint in those details. I might paint them like fluorescent pink or something and then use him to... Because actually it feels relatively smooth, it just looks really janky. Yeah, I've only had a good experience with that primer before. Maybe it's because I've been storing it in the garage, which has gone cold recently, so it may have just been too cold. But honestly, everything I do with Pro Acryl at the moment just goes to shit, and I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, I normally thin it through an airbrush, and it's maybe I put too much thinner with it and it didn't stick. But anyway, I just, like I say, Pro Acryl. Because I got this bust from Arnow and did the same, but I'm gonna have I might have to strip her and repaint her because like I say, it did the same thing again. So I've put some more primer over the top of it, and it's just a bit thick, and I've lost a bit of the details. Again, she's kind of got a bit of marbling going on, which is kind of cool, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I really wanted her to be like super smooth skin, so I think that one's probably dead in the water. Yeah, I know, and like I say, I've used it neat. I can't use it neat through an airbrush, but I can use it neat painting it on, and that's normally fine. In the end, I used Games Workshop's, what's it called, White Scar for the white, and it works. I genuinely think that might be the best spray white primer. Yeah, Arnow's version's absolutely incredible, that too. I bought it directly from Arnow at SMC as well, so I got to talk to him, which is fun. He's like really shy, or maybe he just didn't like me. But either way, he was really shy. Probably absolutely done in from talking to people all day as well. He was with his girlfriend, wife, not sure, partner, anyway. Ooh, the other fun thing I primed at the same time, because I've tried to get a few things primed so I can get some stuff going, is that one. Yeah. So we'll get him moving at some point soon. No, I really like the GW Prime. In fact, all the GW paints are pretty good, with the exception of the odd few that have got a bad reputation, like, you know, White Scar, White, or whatever it is. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Big fan of most GW paints, to be honest with you. It's just they're in stupid pots and they're inconvenient to buy. Or rather, by the time I'm shopping online, I'll shop for something else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not surprised it clogs up fast, but it's just it's all right, it's fine, but it's just I normally just thin it slightly and then just whiz it through an airbrush, but my airbrush was clogging. It was, like I say, I'm not sure. It might just be temperature related. I'd love to do that. Yeah, that'd be really fun to paint it up properly. Like I say, I went through that giant box of Space Marines earlier, and so I've looked at about a dozen Space Marines I'm going to paint up as well. I'm not a big fan of rattle cans either, but they'd have... They've got their place. They've got their place. It's like everything, isn't it? They do work. It's just, if you're doing lots of models, they're still faster than airbrush. But it's... I'm typically only painting one at a time, so I generally use an airbrush for it. I have used my airbrush less since I moved it into the garage, though, because it's just not as convenient. Safer, but not as convenient. Right, royal brown. We're going to glaze over that belt now. By the way, if you're wondering why the palette is sideways, I have no idea. If anyone could tell me why the palette is sideways, please tell me, because I've tried to rotate it and it just rotates the entire screen, as Michelle will attest. Oh, don't get me wrong. I much prefer airbrushes to rattle cans, but still, they've both got their place. Is anyone else painting at the moment? You normally have your palette portrait. Interesting. Yeah, no, it's definitely the wrong way around, but I don't know why. Everything's shot in landscape. It's in landscape. It just appears on the screen and it was normal when I first started, but now it's switched to portrait for some random reason. I actually don't like this very much. It looks a bit of rubbish. The belt, I mean. The mini's okay. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Goblins are always fun. I need to print another one of those the goblin busts I did the other day. That's a fun model. I'd like to paint that one. But the plan first is to finish some of the stuff in front of me. I have been a little bit more prolific than I normally am, though. That's alright. He's pretty close now. I was going to enter him into the Squidmar one, but I'm not sure I'm going to get him done. He's looking alright, though. And I need to go back over him, too, and put in some of the do the details on him. Because he's looking cool, but it's... he just needs all the details painting in. That's my problem with oils, though. You get into it, get into the flow, and then you can't finish. So then you put him down for 2 days, and then I never pick him. Then I don't pick him back up again. Never mind. That's fun. That's royal brown and azo gold and titanium buff mixed together, and it just basically makes an absolute banging skin tone. I was aiming for gold, but it's which one's the third one? Is that the knight? Or is that the pirate one? Yeah, I've not finished the fishing. I've literally got to get like the first week it came out, and then I did like a bit of a sketch on it, and then left it there. Story of my life, really, to be honest with you. I quite like the idea of doing like a space marine. I know it's weird, but it's like actually there's sort of like a standard to measure yourself against. And it's like I reckon if I could paint a good space marine, that would be a pretty good achievement. I should definitely chop the backs off more miniatures though. What, as in you just primed it and then left it? Yeah, I don't know. I do that so many times. Get a cool idea. I've got that amazing miniature from Journeyman to finish as well. I just haven't got there yet because I got that to a really reasonably high level, and then I've just parked it, and it's like, ugh. I need to get back to that one at some point. I've got a couple of days off next week. I might try and put some effort into painting next week. What do we think? No, I haven't painted a lot of Space Marines either. I've got loads of unpainted Space Marines all over the place, but just I'm in the process of selling them all now because I can't be bothered with any of them. I'm going through a bit of a clear out phase at the moment, just going anything I've not sort of touched, or I'll go through it all and decide if I want to look at it, and then I'll just get rid of them. Like I bought a load of Stormcast Eternals, not Stormcast Eternals, that's the wrong word. What are they called? Stormlight series models from their Kickstarter, and I don't really like them, so I'm just going to sell them. So if anyone wants to buy any of the Brandon Sanderson official Stormlight Saga models, let me know. Yeah, like I say, it's a good benchmark, isn't it? It's like, you know, I don't mind a Space Marine. I quite like a Space Marine, actually. But I always paint the boring chapters, though, which are my favourite chapters. But Ultramarines and Blood Angels. Always, always, always one of those two. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Wow. I should probably go at some point, but it's just well, I hope this has been fun. Like I said, I'm probably been a bit boring for you largely, I don't know. I just sort of sat here and witted on. But maybe we can have a chat and see what more I can do to make these things more exciting, more interactive. It's difficult to be interactive. Imperial Fists are fun, yeah, exactly. It's difficult to be interactive with this. It's a little bit one way. It's just in the chat. Maybe we need to do some more on the Discord where you can do some bit two-way chat, let other people speak as well. But like I said, give me some feedback. I'd be interested to know whether people enjoyed it or not, or yeah, whatever. Really, I think it's a bit of fun. So that's where we're at so far. It looks alright. So did a bit more on the cloak, a bit more on the belt, picked up the filigree, did a bit more on the face. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I agree. That's what I like to get out of it too, Ollie. But it's just I always end up feeling slightly guilty. Yeah, I know it's 9 o'clock already. That's I just looked at the clock and be like, oh my god, never mind. I mean, I was like 20 minutes late, but anyway, it's cool. Right, I am gonna sign off. Well, we'll see if I can sign off. Signing off might be just as hard as signing in. But either way, you lot should go, and I shall turn it off when I can. So I think I've got a special screen for this. Hold on. So I'm going to switch it to the end of stream, and then we'll see where we're at. Oh, look at that. Cool.